Okay. Hello. Welcome to episode 4 of the podcast. Here I am with one of my guests is Trey. He's an Overwatch
Mm-hmm.
player, Grandmaster, almost top 500, about to get into the Overwatch League. Um, Very good guest to have coming here. You can also follow his YouTube channel. I'll put a link in the description. I also have my former boss here, Drake. Um, he used to be a good Overwatch player. I don't know if he still plays, but that's okay. That's totally fine. Then I also have my son here, Wong. He is Asian, Canadian, and ready for the bacon. Here, okay. So first off, what do you guys think of the whole idea of loot boxes?
I mean,
Who wants to go first?
Trey, go
It
ahead
don't matter.
if you.
Jake, go first.
Oh, okay.
Just go for it, Jake.
What about loot boxes exactly?
What do you know about it?
It's a nice way to either make some little microtransactions in some games. Uh, Personally, I don't feel like they're too bad, unless you do what EA did
Mhm.
with Battlefront 2, which was a complete disaster. I don't
Wait, what
think
did he
games
do?
should be. Well, EA basically made a lot of Battlefront 2 like pay to win. Sort
Oh,
of. Some power-up cards were only found in loot boxes, and people that would buy more loot boxes would obviously have a higher chance of getting them, right?
Mhm.
yeah.
Uh,
Mhm.
that, in my opinion, is a little scummy. Like, I don't like pay-to-win games. You're just better off playing off your skill. Cosmetics are only things that should be in loot boxes, because then, I mean, you can play without cosmetics.
Yeah, true. Like,
Okay.
I prefer a game that the cosmetics don't affect anything, like
Mhm.
your performance. I don't
Trey,
know
what's
how I
your
feel.
what's your thought about loot
um,
boxes?
well, my thought is there like a lot of people are trying to compare it to Call of Duty Advanced Warfare. Have you
Uh
ever
huh.
played that game?
Yes.
Like where if you buy the supply drops, you'll get like an epic variant of a weapon that clearly gives you an advantage. Like I think they're trying to compare it to that, but they don't really understand how it works to the point where it's just a cosmetic. It's not going to affect the game. Like it's somebody's choice to pay for it. You don't have to. Like it's all choice. If you know what I mean.
Hmm.
Yeah, I get what you mean. What about you, Wong? What do you think of it?
And also, like, I find it's like cool for the like artist like does that, right? So like in some games, like the fans of the game, right? Like CS:GO, like for example, they like make the skins and the creators are just picking if like it's good or not and asking to the community if they want it. So yeah.
Okay, that's a good thing you brought up about CS:GO. So the reason why I want to talk about this topic is because the FTC, the Federal Trade Commission, is actually wanting to actually investigate the whole gaming industry about loot boxes because of it saying it's a it's a way for children to be into gambling and cause gaming addiction later in the future. And already other countries has already banned the whole idea of loot boxes and actually um, made it illegal. Like places like France, Belgium, Netherlands, and even now like the UK. Cause I don't know. For me, the way I see it is, I think it's dumb, but there is like actually both parties where it could be it's a bad thing where it needs to be regulated. But like there's whole where like in CS:GO, because I don't know too much CS:GO. I don't know if you guys can correct me, but like it can be used as real money and it can be addicting. But there's other games where like it is like it's just cosmetics.
To add on to that, CS:GO is a little weird to talk about because they have third parties, which can make it even worse. To be honest with you, because they can like you can lose stuff on gambling sites. Like there's gambling sites on CS:GO,
Yeah,
right?
yeah.
You have to be 18, but or 21. I don't know the age restriction or whatever, but you can like put up like a skin, and you could either win it all or lose it all. and then you have to buy another skin. And it's just that, in my opinion, is a little too much compared to loot boxes, which you're gonna get something every time, no matter what it is, and you'll still get coins out of it, so you could buy a skin in the future. Like for me, I had no problem with it. CS:GO, in my opinion, is just a little too much.
But that's the whole point, because it comes to the point now where if if it does get investigated, you know, what happens if the U.S. bans the whole idea of loot boxes? Like, is that something you're okay with, or do you not care? Like for me,
Mm,
I don't really care too much, but I think it's just dumb to even ban loot boxes. It's just dumb. But I can see, like, because there's games where like a loot boxes can help you in a game. It could be pay to win, but there's other games where it's just purely cosmetics.
True.
right, but in my opinion, I don't really care about loot boxes. That's just me. But another way you can add skins into the game is just doing challenges, just straight up challenges to do something for just like a regular skin, right? But like, but the reason they have loot boxes is so they can make money. They just want money, right?
Yeah.
And it's a business. It's like they have to have money some way. Not all of it's just coming from straight up buying the game. Like loot boxes is like the product. They have to sell it or they're gonna run out of business. Like it's not like they want to make kids gamble. They just have to, in my opinion.
Because there's been, I've read an article, and there's been a lot of situations like where kids will get addicted to these gambling sites, like in CS:GO or other games, and the kids don't really know too much better, but they would actually get their own parents' credit card and use it, and it'll be up to the thousands that they're paying, just to gamble. Because there's no real regulation or anything like that to, and anything for it to like stop it or to even do anything much about it.
One more thing. So also Fortnite. Let's talk about Fortnite. So there's a lot of kids playing that game. And I know kids who spent a lot of money on this video game for some freaking reason. They want to spend money on every single skin that comes out, right? Like, I'm surprised they're not even talking about that. Even though it's not gambling, kids are out here spending so much money. Yes, they may have their parents' permission, but still, like a lot of money, like thousands of dollars on this stupid video game, in my opinion, over just some skins. Like, yes, it's not random, it's not gambling, but still, it's lots of
Yeah.
money getting put away just for one little skin.
Because even moving past the skins, because um usually games usually have like a rating, and that's already known. But every time a game gets flagged for something, if it's mature, like GTA, kids are gonna want to buy it, but the kids aren't buying the game, it's the parents. The parents buy the game, then they see, when they see the kid playing the game, they don't blame the kid, they blame the actual game itself, which I think is probably one of the dumbest things that I thought, because then it's the kid never really gets blamed, or the parent doesn't really get blamed for it. What do you think about that one?
I mean, that's dumb, like, that they're not saying anything about the parents or the kids, because imagine your parent, right? And your kid's like, "Oh, can I buy that game?" Right? You're gonna make sure, like, what is he gonna play? Like, what are in the game, right? Is it like PG-13 or is it like PG-18, right? So like if like
The
a
fuck?
kid,
PG
yeah, but you know what
18?
you know what I mean though,
The
right?
fuck is PG
Like,
18?
is
Go on, go on.
Just keep going. Just go for it.
okay. So like imagine like a game with like violence and shit, right? And then like the parents don't know that, they just know that, oh, the name like it's seems okay, like the images seems okay, but they don't know there's violence, right? And then like when they realize what their like kids are playing, the parents like will get mad, right? Like you can't even blame the kid for that, but the parents also have a responsibility in that shit, right?
Yeah, I feel like at a young age, like even if it's just like a little bit of gaming, like you should, as a parent, I feel like you should probably maybe use this situation to teach the kid about like this sort of stuff, because it's never really talked about. And like I don't know, like I just see it is so dumb that like the gaming industry always gets um a bad rap for something that's because it's an entertainment, it's a game like industry, like if gaming like trailers like I don't know like Detroit Become Human. Have you guys heard or played that game?
Never played it, but
You heard
looked
of it,
at
huh?
it. Yeah,
Yeah,
but I know what it is. Yeah.
yeah. Because there's even that where like they would show of like abusement in the family, right? Or like in the trailer, and people would
Mhm.
say like, "Oh, how can you make this into a video game?" Or like, this shouldn't be meant for like kids and stuff like that. But yet, if you look at it the other way, it's in movies, it's in TV shows, but the TV shows or movies, they don't get any blame for anything like that. They completely show it. Like in Call of Duty, you're running around killing other enemies, and people see that as like, oh, that's bad. But then when they show a movie like Saving Private Ryan, Black Hawk Down, oh look, he's killing people. Oh, he what a badass, you know. But
Mhm.
the movie never gets blamed for anything. It's always the game industry.
I don't understand game ratings personally because, for
I
example, a teen-rated game and an M-rated game barely have a difference. Um, I'm trying to remember what team-rated game I played that's like very similar to a lot of M-rated games. It just almost doesn't make sense, but I understand it for marketing strategy because, like, say, parents buying games for kids, you don't want kids having that sort of content. But in this day and age, it's almost stupid because literally I can go on right now, YouTube, and I can see the game that I wanted to buy, and I'm like, let's say I'm 17 or 16, right? I could just still be exposed to that kind of stuff, and it's in the end, is it really affecting me? Maybe, right? There's always this huge debate about like video games promoting violence, uh, and people want to blame the game developers, as Drac said, and it's like in the end, it's really your fault for buying the game, right? And it's not everyone just wants to find blame to put on someone, right?
Yeah, someone to blame, pretty much. Yeah.
And there was there's always this uh false realization that there are stuff worse than like COD out there that are made games, right? Like
And even
uh
movies.
movies worse. Actually, there was a game called Hatred a couple years ago that was banned. The trailer was banned because it was too violent, and around this time, school shootings were becoming a thing.
Yeah.
Oh,
This game was about this guy. I don't remember too much of the story. I've watched a lot of it. There's this guy who would go around it was an OTT game, so you have the bird's eye view, right?
Yeah.
And you would run around the street just killing innocent people, right? And you get
Mhm.
points for this. And
Oh
it
my
was
God.
it was so controversial.
What's that? What's
I'm
that
pretty
game,
sure,
dude?
dude, if you see like the gameplay of it, you're gonna be like, what the fuck is this? Like it was a little weird because you just gotta see it. It's just like I don't know why this is a game,
Yeah,
but
I'm just thinking about it in my head. What
the
am I?
trailer was banned, I think, in America. I don't even think it came out in America either. So I just remember seeing a bunch of European YouTubers playing it, and like it's crazy. Like some
Yeah,
things just
what?
shouldn't be games. But then,
Yeah.
as Drax said, movies can be a hell of a lot worse. Like some R-rated movies are just, like. But then parents will take their kids to see that,
Yeah.
and they'll be like, "No, you can't play Call of Duty."
Yeah.
have you guys heard about that dude that got expelled from the school because he designed his school in CSS, right?
Oh
CS:GO
Yep.
yeah,
like
yeah,
source,
yeah. Mhm.
and
hmm
he got like expelled because like I don't know why. Like he made the school
Because
and like yeah.
around that time, I'm not sure if Columbine happened yet, or if it just recently happened, but that was like a big scare. Like imagine like mapping out your school after a huge historical school shooting happened. I'm pretty sure everyone would be a little concerned.
That is pretty impressive though. I'm not gonna lie to the
It
kid.
is
Yeah,
impressive,
that's
yeah.
impressive.
But
That's what I feel.
unfortunately, just bad timing of it
Yeah.
and people taking it a little too far. But,
Also, like, I had it at the top of my head, but I know a lot of like T-rated games are like on the brink from M.
yeah,
And, like
yeah.
that's a lot of thing with a lot of movies nowadays, in my opinion. Like
Mhm.
I went to go see Deadpool 2 like I don't know, like 2 months ago or something like that. And I saw like a couple like younger kids, like kids, going to see an R-rated movie that has gore in it. Like straight up like chopping heads off and stuff like that and ripping people in half. You know what I mean? Like
Mhm.
like parents let them go see that
Yeah.
instead, like, and they are more concerned about a movie. Like they should be more concerned about a game, in my opinion, because games is more hands-on. You're
Yeah.
making the choices depending on what the game is, of course.
Yeah.
Because
Yeah.
if you're forced to do that, like let's say like let's talk about GTA.
Mhm.
GTA is a free world. You don't
Yeah.
have to kill everybody you see.
Yeah.
You can like go on a story mission and stuff like that. But in the end, it's like up to you. So
Ah, I
like
see what you're
yeah, it's
saying.
true. Yeah, but like some games are like that.
Yeah,
I'm not
yeah.
saying all games, and some are
Mhm.
like a little bit more restricted than others. But you know what I mean.
I see them both in the
Like,
same light because of this, right? Well, I'm a criminal justice major, so of course I have to say this. I don't know if you guys remember the Aurora shooting and the other shooting in Arizona years ago, right? There was this one guy, he had his motives from the Joker, right? This is around the time one of the Batman movies came out, and he shot up a movie theater, right? And people
Yeah.
were
Yeah.
like,
Yeah.
"Oh my God." No one blamed, like, you know how people usually blame video game violence, right?
Yeah.
It wasn't more of it wasn't like, oh, we shouldn't be seeing these movies, right? We still have these fucking movies out. But I'm
Mhm.
not saying that, no one should be watching violent movies. Like it's entertainment. Yeah, I get it.
Yeah.
Some people take things too seriously and they'll try and act it out.
Mhm.
In the end, it's just up to that person, and it's just I don't know.
I remember once, right? Like when you go to the movie theater, right? Like
Yeah.
like
Get your
like
popcorn. Get
as
your
a
drink. Yeah.
no, like for a movie to buy a
Oh.
movie ticket, right?
Yeah.
Like I'm 14, so like when I go to the movie, right? It's like there's movies for like adults,
Yeah.
and like I go with my brother, like which is like he's like 21, right?
Mhm.
And like I legit ask him to get tickets like for the movies, right?
Yeah.
The
Yeah.
movie. But then when it comes to like when I go to the like I used to play on PS3 when I wanted to buy like Black Ops 2, right?
Yeah.
Like legit like my father needed to go to like tell the dude that he wanted to buy it, otherwise I couldn't buy it. I don't know why.
So you're allowed in the movie theater,
Which
but
is pretty violent, a pretty like violent movie, right?
yeah.
And then when it comes to like a game store, like buying Black Ops 2, I couldn't even say I wanted the game. I could buy it. My father legit needed to go
Yeah.
buy it.
I'm assuming you went into the movie theater, like you went into the movie, you sat down to watch the movie with your brother, right? I'm assuming.
Yeah.
That
Yeah,
was
that's
18.
normal. Yeah, because usually it's always if you hear like trailers like chilled not, what did it say? Chilled not admissible without parental
Mhm.
guidance. It's always like that. It
Yeah,
never
but
makes sense to me either.
yeah, but like even that, when I go with friends, right? They still let us though. So
Just it's Canada, dude.
What?
Canada.
Canada.
It's Canada, dude.
Yeah,
No.
just want to bring that up.
I don't know. I feel like cuz I've been like there when I was trying to buy Call of Duty Advanced Warfare. I think that at that time I was still like 17. No, no, no. I was 16 and the guy asked like, "Oh, I need to see your ID or your parents." I told him, "Uh, oh, um, I left my ID in the car." I was like, "Oh, that's fine. You can go." And that's
What the
it.
hell?
Yeah. It's pretty crazy. Um,
Um,
I don't know. I feel like there has to be a way to regulate some of this stuff for like the gaming industry, but it's always never gonna be uh done right because the media is never gonna favor gaming.
Yeah, no. A lot of people, a lot of like like let's say for my parents, for my example,
Yeah.
they do not like me playing
Mhm.
like how much I play. I don't even play that much compared to some people. Like let's go say like in Korea, like people play like in the gaming hubs for hours and hours and hours and hours after school on end. And like it's really hard because a lot of people just do not like gaming because it's something that I've heard doesn't support the community, or let's say like impacts your physical performance in real life and how you think and how you act and social.
Yeah. Not really true.
And a lot of people just patronize that. And sorry for my voice, it's like nothing I could do, but yeah, it's just my parents hate me playing all the time.
I mean,
Just hate it.
That's just the American culture, though, because
Yeah, it
we have
honestly
the
is.
stupid, oh, work hard until you fucking die, right? Like,
Yeah,
who
yes.
really wants to do that? Like, let's really sit down for a second and say, who really wants to do something that they don't enjoy, right? Who wants to work as hard as they
Yeah,
can for
become
the
a
rest
work
of their life,
slave.
right?
Just work your entire
But what
life,
I
have no fun.
Yeah, and remember, Trev, you were saying this before. You could become. People will encourage you to become like a football star, but when you want to do like a pro gaming, it's like,
Yeah.
are you fucking retarded? Like
Yes. Thank you.
what?
Yeah,
I don't
no,
understand that. Like,
it's so dumb. And
American culture makes no sense sometimes.
when my friend told me, it's like when I said I wanted to become pro,
Mhm.
they're like, well, what does pro do for the community? I'm like, what does football do for the community? What does basketball do for the community?
Entertainment. They
Concussions.
all do entertainment, forehead.
Yeah, and let's be honest, gaming is probably gonna surpass sports in your coming future.
Yeah.
Like
Real
it's
soon.
in an
Real
estimated
soon.
time, like a couple years ago, my dad said, yeah, Super Bowl like 100 is not gonna become a thing because everyone's quitting football because you can literally kill yourself for playing it.
Hmm.
Like, bro,
I mean, that's like every sport, though. You can
Maybe.
get injuries like any like time in playing any sports, though.
Hmm.
Mhm. Yeah.
It's not only football.
football, like
It's just
yeah,
It's more popular, right?
Yeah,
Yeah.
I just use football because it's just a really big thing in
Yeah, I
America.
know.
yeah,
Like,
it's a big thing in America, and in my opinion, it's like the most dangerous to play
It is. It totally is.
besides rugby. But I don't think really a lot
Oh,
of people play rugby.
yo,
I think
think
hockey would
football's
be pretty
like
dope.
dangerous. You
hockey's
just
pretty
play
dope.
football with no armor.
it's safer than
Easy.
football. Yeah,
No,
it's a lot safer than
hockey's
football.
pretty intense too.
Yeah, I can't. Well,
I
it's
s-
not like someone gets hit in the face with a stick. It's people fighting.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I saw a video of a guy fucking had his throat slit from an ice skate.
Oh,
Yeah, like that one chance of people like
yeah. This is
Getting
Did,
into
did
it.
I
stuff like
tell you
that.
guys when I was like
What?
younger, right?
Yeah.
I used to like to go like sometimes to the skating arena.
Yeah.
I once fucking like slipped, right?
Yeah.
And then like with the blade like cut the bottom part of my thigh next to my knee.
Damn.
It feels bad, dude.
just get good.
Oh, I'm sorry.
Just kidding. But yeah, it's just like my parents support everything, but when I play, like
Yeah, my parents have always been very against video games.
I think for me, I don't. I can see like the reason why, cause a lot of the time, like gaming and like the internet is such a new thing, like
yeah, it's
especially if
something they
they're
never
older.
really had.
Yeah, they're older. They don't really know too much about the stuff, which I don't really blame them for it. But I feel like it's there has to be some way to like teach them or make them inform them about like how much like the internet like we can do for like what new jobs are coming out, like what the gaming industry is. Like it's a multi-billion-dollar industry, you know, and it's brand new. You know,
It's a
why
waste
wouldn't
of
you not get
time.
into it?
Yo, legit, like for me, my parents, right? Like
Yeah.
I don't know why they say, oh, I don't care what you do, just be like good and like happy.
Yeah.
And when like once I said I want to be a professional, they're like, what the hell is that? You can't do that. I was like, oh, okay.
My entire life, my parents have been saying you could do whatever you want to be, like whatever
Yeah.
you want to do. You could be whatever you want to be.
All right,
And
pro
it's,
gamer.
yeah, No, you can't do that.
But
Like
you
my
said
mom,
anything.
yeah, and my mom's a little bit more lenient about this, but my father, my dad hates it.
Yeah.
And
That's unfortunate.
my dad can also be a little bit more lenient about it because he says as long as you find a balance
Mhm.
between games in your life and stuff like that. But still, he does not like me playing all
Yeah.
this, like as much as I do, even if I don't even play that much.
Because I think it's pretty good. Like, if you want to get to pro gaming, that's good. But I do see like there is no really job security. It's only like as long as the game is good, that's how long like you have your job for. Then you move on to another one. You know?
I feel
Yeah,
like it also depends what you go pro in too. Like if you
Yeah.
go pro in like a first person shooter, like let's say you're I don't know, COD Pro, right?
Yeah.
On PC.
Yeah.
You could probably no. Let me be specific. If you're a CS:GO pro, let's be more specific.
Or
Yeah.
like yeah, or league or
You
something.
could probably go to R6 or whatever comes out.
yeah, you can go to
Probably.
other things. Like, I'm sorry to interrupt,
Oh
Drake,
no,
but
go ahead,
like
go ahead. That was done.
I was watching LCS, and that was happening a couple of years ago, and I saw one of the tank players for Boston Uprising play. I was like, wow, like from League of Legends to Overwatch.
Yeah.
Like that's
Mhm.
just so weird to see.
Mhm.
And I'm like, wow, dude, like Overwatch doesn't have to be anything like amazing because a lot of it Overwatch can transfer to other games. Fast paced and shooting.
Mhm.
Like CS:GO to me like has become easier from Overwatch,
Yeah.
in my opinion. Just like the aiming style, it doesn't have to be super similar. It could just be like a little bit similar. And then for me, aiming will be a lot easier
Yeah.
for and then all I got to really learn is game sense and how rotations work
Yeah.
and how the map works and stuff like that. I'm not saying it's easy. I'm just saying it's easier in a way.